OzoneTCG, we're here with.
Edward Cam.
And what did you play for this event, and what did you place?
I placed 8th with Despia.
Nice, and we're at Richmond, Virginia for the regional. So let's get into the deck profile.
Alright, so the main deck, pretty standard, 3 Luber. I had to borrow this one from a friend, so that's why it's not there. 3 Tragedy. This is a starter. This is just really good to draw if you draw any sort of fusion card, because it's basically the second way to play. If your Branded Fusion gets cashed, or something happens to your first fusion, effectively Imperm. I played the 1 Comedy. Originally I was going to cut this card, but I didn't have space in my side deck, because this card is really good against trap decks, because you would always have to, you would summon your fusion monster, like Mirror Jade to banish an Eldritch maybe, or Guardian Chimera to pop cards like a Floodgate. And so you would activate the effect, and then chain 2, activate Comedy to tribute it so that it's off the field now from skill drain, or Imperm if that ever comes up. Yeah, it's usually a really solid card. I think I actually only used the effect once today though, because I didn't really face too much Eldritch. And it ended up coming in clutch against the new Psychic level 11 Synchro, where I had to get less life points than 1 attack. And so I just summoned this with 0 attack, and I just crashed it in. And so I was able to basically stop the effect of like the Psychic Synchro.
Psychic and Punisher?
Yeah, that card.
Yeah. So you basically play that to beat Floodgates?
Yeah, basically, essentially.
Okay.
Alright. And then add Libitum, pretty standard. You just use the summon back Mirror Jade usually. 3 Albaz. I sometimes side out the 3rd one. Usually I just use it to have an additional way to play to make Rebellion or what was the name? Albion, just in case I needed it. I did play 1 D-Link today, and it never came up for me to like just set this and go Alba Lenatus, because I never just hard drew it. So that is something you could do. 1 Springs Kit. It's something to add off of Branded Loss if it comes up. Sometimes there are lines where you can get to Branded Loss and add, basically just to get an additional search off a kit. It's pretty nice. It's basically your 4th Aluber, so it's pretty nice. Next up is Albion. This card is really good. Oftentimes you can send a Branded Sword to add back a Mercurier here in order to...
Good job, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, you can use Albion to send a Branded Sword here to add back the Mercurier. Everyone knows it.
Go like +2?
Yeah, +2. Sometimes you send Fallen of Albaz if you have Branded Red in hand, because again, that's like another way to play. Or you can send Branded Opening if you're playing the Mirror sometimes, because a lot of times it's like you want to maintain your board, but if they try to activate Mirror Jade to blow up your board, it's kind of hard. So sometimes you just send the Branded Opening to protect it. Play the Snow as my light target. I did consider playing Ecclesia, because Ecclesia is way better in the Despia Mirror than Snow, because even if you set a monster with Snow, they ended up like still fusing with it, so it really didn't matter. Mostly just block for attacks. I think it's better than Ecclesia. I've seen Sunless play both. Oftentimes they're like bricks, in my opinion, if you play both. So I feel like the 1 Snow is better for like Sword Soul, but I didn't really see any Sword Soul today, so I guess.
Yeah, it's also like another way to out Floods. Like
yeah,
Guardian Chimera banish, something like that.
Yeah, banish for cost. Not even once per turn, so yeah. You got the 3 Edge and Chains. It's pretty standard. Card's insane. Free pluses everywhere. For my going second, I played 3 Ash Blossom and where is it? 3 Super Poly if I can find them. I picked Super Poly because this is like pretty good against Sword Soul. You can dodge a lot of like effect negation. I remember I used like this to dodge like a few Fog Blades in my final round. It's pretty good to dodge like Chi Zhao effect to fuse into with either Albaz or Aluber here. Sometimes you can do cool things like normal summon and no effect of Albaz, and then just immediately Super Poly, since you have priority at that point, and they can't like chain like Mirror Jade essentially to the effect. So it's pretty good. 3 Patchwork, free +1. It's pretty good. It's basically your second way to play if you do get ashed on Branded Fusion, and so yeah, it's pretty good. 2 Poly. I felt like I saw Edgem Chain and Patchwork enough, so just needed to. 3 Allure. This is the best card in the deck. Sometimes it just, you draw double sometimes and you just fix your hand. Sometimes you just plus for no reason. Yeah, it's insane. 4th card, Gold Sark. This is also like the freest plus in my life. You just do Gold Sark, banish Mercurier, add Albion, Albion effect, send Branded Blade. Branded Blade effect, add in Mercurier. So basically, you just draw a card for free and you add Mercurier. Next card, Callblade, broken. 3 Branded Fusion, don't need to explain it. 2 Branded Red. I did think about playing 3, but the issue is that I didn't want to like brick on it, so I just played 2 instead. 3 Branded Opening. This card is pretty insane. Protects card effects, which is really big in the mirror because otherwise you have like no way of protecting it from Mirror Jade. 1 Branded Loss. It's very good. Sometimes you do have the option to search it, but sometimes I just search either another Branded Red for the follow-up or just to play through a board because sometimes this card can be really win more if you get ashed on your Branded Fusion. Like if you do Branded Loss and Fusion, if they ash this, you pretty much lose. So sometimes you just add the Branded Red instead.
Yeah.
And then Branded Sword because it's just a part of the combo with Albion to add back Mercurier. Or sometimes you add back a Fallen Albaz if you need it for just a raw like poly play or something. Mm-hmm. And that rounds up the main deck. It's 44 cards.
44 you said?
Yeah.
Cool. We go extra deck?
Yeah.
Extra next?
Alright, for extra deck, mix it up a bit. Play 2 Mirror Jade. Pretty standard. I did think about cutting this card to 1 at some point, but oh wait. Oh, sorry, my other Mirror Jade's over here. Yeah. This is pretty. Sometimes you just want to like recycle the second one, so you just use Rebellion, which is the next 2 cards. I thought about playing 1 at some point as well for this. The reason why you play 2 though, I feel, is that Grind Games is pretty good because you can just keep recycling the other one to make Mirror Jade essentially, or something else. Yeah, but because if your first one gets like impermed or something, it really sucks. Next I played 2 Albion and 1, if I can find it, Alba Lenatus. This card's like usually send it, but sometimes you just make Albion first to start your fusion plays. I never summoned this card once today. I honestly think this would have been better as a 3rd Albion in all honesty, but you know. I guess if you want to play against dragons, I just never saw the Albaz, so it's kind of hard to like just hard draw sometimes. 2 Masquerade. This card is like your alternate win condition against certain decks. I remember against the Earth Machine, I kind of just kept burning him down to prevent him from playing. So, pretty good card. It's also really insane against a mirror. Just summoning 1 is just like they can't really do much essentially because they keep activating all these effects. Everyone pretty much knows it. 2 Grand Chimera. You can play 1, but sometimes you need 2 just for the utility of just popping cards and drawing. Trying to get your, just trying to get deeper in your deck or to try to advance board state. Pretty good. Draco Stapelia, pretty standard. The effect to make it level 1 didn't come up that often, but I just usually use it as like an imperm, essentially. Quartus, this card is the best card for going second. The fact that you can threaten to beat over any negate is really huge because if they destroy it with like, let's say Savage, you say, cool, Quartus effect, summon Albaz from deck, and they just make Mirror Jade with their negate essentially. So that's really sick. Yeah. Proskinian, just play it for Super Poly. There was a time where I almost lost in time, but the guy had a Snow on field and a Dark Monster. I think it was Masquerade. And so I just summoned a Despia for my using Branded Opening, and I just used Super Poly to fuse away like all 2 of his monsters to just attack for game. So that's pretty good. I got Brigand the Glory Dragon. This one I didn't really summon too often today. It is pretty good as a Fallen Albaz target against Sword Soul. You can just send it off of Mirror Jade just to get the search for Mercurier. But I think it's pretty solid. And then, yeah, that's the...
Rounds up the extra deck?
Yeah.
Cool. Now we're on the side deck.
3 Token Collector. I thought I would be playing more Adventure and Sword Soul today, but I guess the nerfs were really bad for them because I didn't see any today. But I know there was some on Top Cut. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Pretty good against that matchup because if you get into a simplified game state, it just wins. 1 Banshee, 1 Zombie World. This card's just really good against decks that require their typings like dragons or Sword Soul. Debatable.
Flunderies,
yeah, that card is same for Flu. 3 Twin. I wanted to play this over Cosmic because I feel like most side decks are kind of going away with the ban of like Verte and DP. Well, not DP, just Verte. So I felt like Twin just being able to hit more cards essentially, and then maybe plussing off of like a chain is pretty good. I played the one Banishment. This card's insane in the mirror. You summon back like a Looper, and then you fuse with their entire board. It's insane. Like you get the search, you make a monster. Like I don't know, it's too good. Like I even cited this in sometimes going second because you can just get down to a simplified game state, and then you just like fuse away all their cards, and then like they end on pretty much nothing. 2 evenly. I really wanted to play 3, but I felt like 2 was the perfect number because I already had 3 Super Poly and 3 Ash in the main. So I felt like just 2 was enough. I would play 3 if I could find space. 3 D-Barrier. This card's insane going first, so I just needed a really good going first card that didn't really lose to much. Like you call Synchro for Sword Soul and Fusion for Despia. Even though it turns off your own fusions, when they can't fuse and you have fusions on field, you're probably going to win that. 1 reboot. You can usually just make them set a trap and then just pop it with Guardian Chimera, assuming your hand's good. I think I only drew this once today against Punk PK. Unfortunately, my hand bricked, so like I couldn't really do much with it. So yeah, that pretty much rounds it up.
All right. Well, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give?
Shout out to my friend Josh over here. My friend Michael over here got second with ABC Therion.
Pretty cool.
Friend Albert, my friend Andy, friends and family all around. So.
Cool. Thank you for the deck profile.